Well, Trudeau's made another foobar. Pretty much all of Parliament made another foobar. Now, I'm going to explain things a little old school, and for those of you who have been watching this channel for a very long time, this part may be boring, or it may be a good reminder on the thought processes of the people that we watch. All of these individuals are in a high school type setting, and we call it that way because they're enclosed. They're separated from the public because they can get inundated threats, pretty much because of how government works with security and passes. It puts you in a different mindset. So now the people that are in this parliament, this government setting, they become like a high school. And there's cliques in high school, there's bullies in high school, there's the popular kids in high school, there's the nerds, all of these different factions in a high school. So also understand when they're in this little group tank that they're also shielded from the consequences of their decisions. They won't feel them, they won't necessarily see them, and of course if they do see them, their natural instinct, which usually is everyone else's even in the normal world, they must have done something wrong. And because no one comes up to them and shows them that the consequences are because of their decisions, they don't feel it. Now, I apologize for that long-windedness.
We have here in the chamber today Ukrainian Canadian world veteran from the Second World War who fought the Ukrainian independence against the Russians and continues to support the troops today, even at his age of 98.
So he's got a light look on his face. His cheeks are drawn up. The smile comes throughout the head, but he's got the believe me look, so we've got stress and excitement there. He's also reading, and he's given a little bit of portrayal as he's reading to exaggerate his emotions. Now, I do understand, and we'll watch that one, that supposedly this person and their history was not fully vetted by their security, and that these individuals, or we'll say most of the high school team here, thinks that they're truly honoring a Ukrainian war fighter fighting against the evil Russians. Dun dun dun. That's another video. And you see it, he lights up, his face is extremely happy, it's coming through, it's all through the eyes, it's everywhere. Part of that is he's just excited that everyone else in the room is happy that they brought this guy in. Look, everyone's happy, this is great. And when you're in this high school setting and you've brought your classmates a prize, it makes you feel good. You're excited, you're happy about this. Everyone's so happy what you brought them. Oh, we got cookies today. And of course, The Independent has done circled Trudeau and his Zelensky, little puppets there, and they're all honoring this guy. It's a quick scan of the audience to see dissenters who may have known that this is not the greatest idea in the world. I don't see anybody not. They all stand. Some of them are just being polite because that is the high school peer pressure. Understand that. Remember, high school, everyone, the popular kids are all standing up, the nerds, all of them, they're all standing up, which forces the other mental groups to stand up out of politeness because they are, in their minds, inferior to the popular kids. So they stand up with excitement. Usually when you see them, their arms are pretty close together, their hands are low, and their clap is less excited. The body is not as excited, whereas you see some of these individuals, they're reaching up high with their hands clapping towards the sky like some sea lions. That is the strength of peer pressure in this government setting. When you are separated via security or special passes from the populace that you're supposed to represent, you now become easily swayed. The need for the human being to be part of a group is extremely strong. It's why social punishment works. It's extremely effective in curtailing bad behavior. But if you have social engineering that is purposely encouraging bad societal behavior and suppressing effective, good societal discipline, you're going to get what we have today. But peer pressure has blinded them to completely trust the people leading them down the path of destruction.
And I was going to say he's in the gallery, but I think you beat me to that. but I'm very proud to say that he is from North Bay and from my riding of Nipissing-Temiskaming. He's a Ukrainian hero, a Canadian hero, and we thank him for all his service. Thank you.
And here you go. One guy stands up and you sit there and watch him. He's in the black over here. Whatever his position in the high school pyramid that we have, it must be pretty high up for him to be able to stand up and immediately others follow him. And as more people follow him to stand up to clap like a seal for this guy, it makes everyone else do it, whether they agree with the situation or not, out of politeness, because they do not want to be alienated. If you don't agree with it, you have to be polite. That's what we do. So this is, I think it's a day later or a couple of days later, the aftermath. We've already had the speaker resign. Trudeau is apologizing, and he's going to get pushback from the quote unquote goths or the blued hairs, you know, that odd bunch outside that everyone respects because they've got a following, but they don't have enough of a push, that tidal wave of mental pressure to force people to dethrone the popular kid.
Mr. Speaker, on behalf of all of us in this House, I would like to present unreserved apologies for what took place on Friday and to President Zelensky and the Ukrainian delegation for the position they were put in. For all of us who were present to have...
So he's reading and he's being very methodical. You can hear the rhythm as he reads. He's practiced this. He's in portrayal. And for those of you, I keep saying this word, just at FYI, it means acting.
Unknowingly recognize this individual was a terrible mistake and a violation of the memory of those who suffered grievously at the hands of the Nazi regime.
I should point out, you see the bobblehead movements of his clique behind him, which is a signal in the high school realm that they're all with him. Everything he's saying, we agree with. Our heads bobble in the positive. We know and we see, we agree. Ah, ha, 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 ha. Our God and popular child has spoken.
The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
Did the Prime Minister's national security, intelligence, or diplomatic officials vet the names of the people that the Prime Minister allowed within mere feet of President Zelensky?
The Right Honourable Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker.
Whereas you see the other guy, who's part of the goth team, they might actually agree with him. But the goths are a different kind of people, and they don't just bobble their heads up and down when someone speaks. They listen. And unfortunately for that, it just says to the other high school kids who need to be told that he's correct, nothing. All they see is the positive movement on Trudeau's side and nothing from the other side. They will only go with the positive head bobbing movement of the other side.
The privilege and responsibilities and rights of parliamentarians are sacrosanct, and that the Leader of the Opposition would be suggesting that any visitor to this House should be vetted by the government of the day is actually a grievous attack on the rights and privileges of parliamentarians. However, if the Leader of the Opposition or the Speaker or anyone wants our intelligence agencies to vet any of their guests, we would be more than happy to do that in respect of parliamentary rights.
The Honourable Leader of the Official Opposition.
So the Prime Minister has just said that he allowed the President of a war-torn country, who is perhaps the biggest target of false propaganda and of potential assassinations, to be surrounded by hundreds of people who had not been vetted for their security background, their potential risks that they present, or in this case, the massive diplomatic disasters that they could have brought to that event. Is he really?
They've got the bobblehead movement, but their bobblehead movement generally is on specific words that he says, not just, I agree. And that is how Parliament works. So if you think about it, how would you dethrone a popular kid?
If you like it, please share and subscribe. Thanks for watching.